Hello and welcome to the second Made by Saba. So this right now is the Redistricting game. You can see it right here on the title. It is a game by the USC Annenberg Center, which is a pretty cool idea. Now the Redistricting game is a game about redistricting. Most people really don't know about it. It's the way the Congress decides how many seats in House of Representatives each member gets. For my AP Government class, it is the greatest game there is, but yet it can sometimes be very, very confusing. So let's try our best. First I'm going to full screen it. That'll make it look a little better. Okay. So this is the introduction screen, and they always say in our lesson intro that we should talk about the title page. And for this one, very good layout. It does let you know where you want to go because there is a big button, play the game. But I find that really when you first open it, all you see is this screen, and this is a little video that goes with it that I personally think is not the best about redistricting. It's okay, but I really don't think it's the best introduction of video you can see. I also don't like that the common theme about this game you'll see is this gray on gray, white on gray. This gets to the annoying part, and we'll talk about the text later, but notice it does say play the game, and there is obviously a big green arrow to play, so it does tell you where to go, but poor color scheme, I think. I mean, light gray on darker gray, it doesn't make anything really stand out. Alright, going on to the next part, we talk about the directions of the game and the instructions. So first of all, you play the game and it leads you to this screen, which is a great screen to talk about user control. So we talk about user control a little bit, and they have control of what mission they want to do. They can always choose to take the basic mission, the advanced mission. There's different missions. It even tells you a basic thing of what you have to do. And in it, you can always find out how to learn more and even get quotes about these missions. So it is really a good starting introduction map. I think it's one of the best areas that can lead you to user control and a ability for somebody to really want to start the game wherever they choose. Me, I'll start the game at where I think is a good level. We'll start at advanced fundamentals. I'm going to pause the game. Alright, so after it loads up, here's the first screen of good user control that I really think they have. You get to choose between your Democrat or Republican Party, and you get to choose, obviously, very good shapes, very good color scheme, and very good text as well. I'll choose Republican. And then it goes to your mission, and the people that will help you as it's loading, your state's redistricting consultant, help the Republican Party, follow their lead. So, of course, click to continue. And now comes the main screen. I want to talk about the directions screen. We'll talk about here for a sec because I don't think this screen is done the all-time best. We see it has a few parts of it that we have. It has, of course, the big guy here, Connor Conservative, and the different representatives. They can roll over to find out, learn more about them, so you can learn about the representatives a little bit. Ray is lifelong, Vince is a forward-thinker, Republic moderate. Tells a little about them, but really that doesn't matter for the game. And then it goes to your mission. Now, one thing I don't like about this game is the instructions of what to do in the mission. I personally think this area here of population equality, create population equality, what you have to do, mission, I think the text really, really bad. One, it has it very small right here, the key task, and it says population equality is the main thing. Virtually same number of people. In this mission, you must create them that do 640,000, 650,000. But I don't think that changing the font repeatedly makes you want to read it. And since this is very important, yes, they start, yes, they bold it, but it does make it, most people just really want to click right at the bottom to the Begin Mission 1 button to just finish. And even that button, I mean, it says Begin Mission 1, but like, with all these different font changes, you don't know exactly what you want to do. Plus, it shows your map sizes right here, and while this says roll over the district representatives to learn more about them, I always think you can click on the map, and you can't. Don't really like that for the directions. So it does say the directions to make the population that way, but nothing else, and this kind of gets annoying in the game. I wish in the beginning they had a little more directions, because most really, with the font text changing, very, very bland, black on gray, most don't pay attention to any of it, and just click Begin Mission 1 before they're ready. Now, the reason it's bad they click mission 1 before they're ready is most people will tend to get lost in the game because they don't read that direction screen, and partially I feel it's because the directions are not written that well. You saw the different fonts they use. It gets covered up. Alright, so now here's the main game, and we'll talk about first the learning theory involved in it. The learning theory of this game is great. It is a very constructivist learning theory. You really have to just trial and error everything you can to make your districts grow. So you can see right now I'm being Pat Rishin, and I'm trying to find out her areas to get her population at 650,000. So to do that, I would have to get her more people, and most likely, since she's Republican, I want more Republicans as little red dots. So I can keep on going out here. I just got to make sure not to take this guy's home, which is really cool that the game does teach you about the game, because watch what happens if I do. Take his home, he gets mad, I go, why, how dare you cut my home out of my district? That's great learning about redistricting, because now you know a representative must live in their district. Further, as you keep doing this, you'll keep trying to move these districts around, and you'll find students all the time try to move around in weird ways, go things like this, and then wonder, well, why are we losing? Why can't we win this? Or, sometimes they'll go like that. It's actually better if I do that. They'll go, why can't we win this? What? Why are you taking it over? There. Weird districts like this, they wonder, why can't we win the game? Why am I not winning? They're happy. In fact, even your mission goal might get completed by this point. But you'll notice, a rule of redistricting is you must have a contiguous line redistrict. And it doesn't state that in the beginning. It's a great learning theory for them that they have to do this when redistricting. And they just find this out. And that really will help them on the AP government test to understand that redistricting is all about making lines that work, but that they are still one contiguous line. It's why it's called gerrymandering. It's making ridiculous lines, but they all still connect. In this case, these orange spots don't connect to the rest of the orange, and this would be considered illegal in the game. And for Sims 3, I realized that to even complete all the population numbers and not wonder why they win because they don't have that right, it's wonderful learning theory. Let's go on now to the mode of presentation. Obviously, this game has text in the game. It does present the text that tells you what they want. They want their different populations, which is good. And it goes into get feedback. You'll find a lot of it for text because you can actually ask all your leaders. And yeah, they'll even talk to you. State governors can talk to you. And you can even see the judges will talk to you about what they want. Great, but really the main primary mode of presentation for this game is the graphics and animation. And they are very simply designed and easy to use. They are not realistic. They are very animated and very large. And the color scheme really matches. All the Republicans are red, Democrats blue. Very easy lines to delineate the different people, the purple, the orange, the green, the yellow. So I think the mode of presentation is really good in this game in how it looks. And this animation form of presentation really helps them learn more because now these students are actually deciding what goes where, how to move them. Right now I'm going to make the green Republican Ray Bird gain a lot more people in his district. And then I already noticed that there's that one square there. Have to take that over. And I have to take Bird. And then it's all about it's a fun game about getting them all equal population, and the harder levels get more complicated government actions. If you really want to play the game, I recommend you try. And just try the first few levels. You'll learn a lot about what it means to redistrict, which is important in my AP government class. It might not be important in more of your classes, but it is a good skill to learn. So mode of presentation, as I've said, very good. Animation, very easy to want to follow. Very simple. My one complaint about the mode of presentation that I have is you'll see all the little dots are these blue and red right here. That's where they are. Big concentrations here. They're kind of hard to see against the green and realistic mountain backgrounds. I understand they want that to make it more realistic backgrounds with the game, but you can barely see them. In fact, in a city like this, it's very hard to decide, do you want to, city on the bottom right here, it's very hard to decide, do you want to move everything around, capture more people, because you don't know how many you're capturing each time. It really makes it hard to decide, do you want more Republicans there, do you want more Democrats, is that area more Republican or Democrat, because they're just so packed together, which yes does represent redistricting in the sense that you can actually see how many people are there, but it does make the game a little aggravating when it comes to deciding how we can correctly get 650,000, which really at some points you'll see she now has 636,000 by 3 spots, or these sparsely populated areas. She now has 671,000. Very hard to get. Alright, let's also talk about user control a second. The user control in the game, as we talked about, is very easy in the beginning. You saw the different levels you can choose from, how to go about them, and even more user control, even after you beat a level. I'm just going to scroll down for a second and show you what happens. You can go to the Learn More button, which is a great part of user control. Not only can you learn about the game, you can learn about each mission if you're stuck, find quotes about each mission. Really good user control. And help in the game, help is everywhere. That's something I also want to talk about. First up in the game, lovely way they do help. You slide over the people. This says exactly what they want. So you can always get procedural help in the game because they will tell you what each one wants to do. And then even farther, you look right here, it has a mission goal in the corner. It disappears for some reason where you can't touch it. But mission goal right there tells you how many representatives you need. Even to get feedback when you submit for approval, you can see everybody and see why they need help in the game. Great help. And if you don't get any of this, there is an extensive FAQ in the game that will tell you everything you want to know about gerrymandering and why it's important. And trust me, when students are working on this game, they will wind up going to that help function, and they will learn more about gerrymandering than they've ever known, and about how to play the game and win. And it's a great learning experience for them. Also, informational help, it's wonderful. They tell you all the information you want to know. They tell you why it's important. You can get feedback from everybody. You can learn about why party heads like lines certain ways, why a governor would like lines in certain ways, and why you have to even deal with the governor. And even the courts. There are 3 different kinds of courts you have to deal with the people for why your districting lines are there. So it really tells you so much information. And even beyond that, you want more, you could go back to that other screen when you're done and choose even to learn more about the missions and quotes about the missions. So great help in every way. Alright, let's talk about one more thing. Finally, ending the program. Really good as well. The temporary endings, it really doesn't have one. You should be able to fix every map in 15 minutes. There isn't really exits for it. If you submit for approval and it doesn't work, you just have to start all over and really just keep on trying and moving things. So no temporary help. The one bad thing, I guess, is if you did click the X button in the corner of the game, I can't really be caught in the screencast, the close browser button, then it quits and you have to start redistricting again, which can be annoying at harder levels where there are complicated rules, but not that bad. Let's talk about the safety nets. Once again, same thing, none, close the button. But the permanent ending, I gotta admit, is really good. You submit for approval. And you have to go through each step of submitting your plan for approval as part of the permanent ending of the game, and it tells you for each place why your vote wins, why it doesn't. Your plan failed in the state legislature, why it did. Same thing with the state governor and state courts. It tells you every step why you didn't do well on the mission, and teaches you then what you need to do differently next time to redistrict properly and correctly. So I think that is a great programming end for its permanent ending. And also we'll talk about exiting the program. When they succeed at a level, I don't really want to just finish a whole level for you. You can always click to continue to the next level. It will boot up the harder version of a level, or to the next one, maybe basic level 2, basic level 3. So it really lets you go step by step into each level. And of course, when you quit the game, you know that if you want to go back, you can just click on the level again. Overall, I think really good game. Has great learning theory of constructivism. You get to choose whatever you want. I would only say the things that it really needs help on, maybe get a better introduction screen, change the title around a little bit, make it easier for them to read so they're more prepared right when they start instead of having to just guess and check repeatedly. And 2, find a way to make the red and blue dots easier to see so it's not as confusing and hard for a person to understand. Other than that, really good game for learning. If you ever have a government class, particularly AP government, use this. It will learn a concept that is on the test. And they really do like to learn a lot, and they actually will start referencing and talking about it after the game is over because they've understood it. That's all for this podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the game, and stay tuned for more in the future.